No phone calls, text messages, no family, no friends. I just wanna be alone with you. Alone. Girl, I just wanna get it on with you. Yeah. Disappear and not leave a clue. Here's what I wanna do, babe. I just wanna take my time tonight, holding your body tight, keeping you warm. Nothing's gonna stop this feeling. Nothing, no. Giving you sexual healing. I just wanna take my time tonight, holding your body tight, keeping you warm. Nothing's gonna stop this feeling.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? What's up, man? What's up? I want to talk about, hypocrisy here. I want to talk about the United States and its hypocritical laws and the way they, the way they got certain things set up. We already know that the, that the age of consent for, to have sex is, different throughout all the states. You know what I'm saying? A lot of states, like Illinois, for example, the age of consent is 17. A lot of states, the age of consent is 16. Some states is 18. It varies, right? And to me, everybody, it just seems like they make it where these laws, right, they can either use the law to free you, or they can use the law to convict you. And it's kind of like the same, these little loopholes that they put on these laws and these little, it seems to me that, for like other races, what, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. In my opinion, I feel like the Caucasian race, they get a lot of breaks when it comes to the law. They make the law work to their advantage. That's just my opinion on things. Now, when it comes to the African American race, it seems like the law does not work to our advantage. It never does. But I'm trying to figure this out because I know they say a lot about, oh, R. Kelly, he married Aaliyah and all this and all that, which I don't think he did. Like I said before, the word annulled, it means no legal existence. No legal existence. Okay? But if you really look at throughout, from state to state, the age of consent to have sex, you're basically saying that someone can't consent, a minor can't consent to having sex. They can do it at 17 for some states, but when it comes to marriage, you see what I'm saying? They can consent to getting married, but they can't consent to having sex. And I just think it's a big hypocrisy, man. It's like hypocritical for the United States to operate in this manner. I think that to fix this problem, because I do not agree with marrying minors. I don't agree with it, so don't get me twisted here. Don't get what I'm saying misconstrued. What I'm trying to say is, I think that it should be a one law. If you say that you got to be 18, then that's what it should be. It should be that throughout every state. I don't see how that's fair to say, okay, you in Illinois, you can have sex at 17, you can consent to 17, but in another state, you have to be 18. It doesn't make sense to me. I think if they want to fix this problem, they need to make all states one accord, with each other when it comes to this rule. But the marriage laws, I mean, it just really gets really bad when it comes to age of consent to marry. As of July 1st, 2019, you had 13 states with no minimum age requirement to marry. Those 13 states at that time was California, Idaho, Maine, Massachusetts, excuse me, I don't know why I can't pronounce that right now, Michigan, Mississippi, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, the state of Washington, not the district, West Virginia, and Wyoming. Now, Massachusetts, they still, I think the minimum requirement is 12, which is a disgrace. But the point that I'm trying to make is, it's so flip-flopping. It's just flip-flopping all over the place when you think of all 52 states, and it's kind of like, how can you establish some type of law and order when you got all these states with different requirements and different rules? You see what I'm saying?
As long as the parents give consent, they can marry at 12.
Yeah, well, yeah, well, in Massachusetts, see, this is the thing with certain states, right? Certain states, a lot of states, like for example, if you look at Alabama, right? Alabama, the age of consent is 18. We know that, right? But with parental consent, a person can marry at 16. You see what I'm saying? So some states you don't need the parents to consent. You know, some states you can marry underage. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I
And
see
then,
what
but a
you're
lot
saying.
of states, yeah, you either need parent consent or you need you know, like the court has to give consent, the judge has to give consent. But it's that's what I mean. It's like different little requirements for
Right.
each state.
I got you. Got you.
As of 2020, August of 2020, it used to be two states where you know there's no exceptions. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be 18. That's the end of it. You know what I'm saying? There's no requirements that can be met. If you're not 18, you can't get married. Simple. Which was Delaware and New Jersey. Now I believe Pennsylvania has changed their laws, so now there's no exceptions in Pennsylvania. There's no exceptions in Minnesota, and it's crazy because it. How do they expect anybody to? It don't make sense. It really doesn't make sense what they're doing here. It don't make sense at all, and I just feel like it's very hypocritical to try to stone R. Kelly for like I said before. I don't believe that happened. I don't believe that he married Aaliyah. So don't get me twisted. But I'm just saying they're pushing that narrative. So I feel like how can they stone that narrative when you got grown men all across the country are marrying underage minors? And it's pathetic because when you think about it, if the age of consent is 18 in a lot of these states, but they're basically saying a lot of these states are saying if a teenager gets pregnant, they're basically like it's like this. They're saying if you commit a crime, then we can forgive you for that crime as long as you marry the minor. That's what how a lot of states are carrying it.
So basically, you can marry a minor. You can have sex with a minor as long as you marry a minor.
Yeah, a lot of states is like
As
that.
long as you're married to the minor.
If the minor gets pregnant, if you marry them, then you obviously you cannot get charged. So it's kind of that's like one of those little loopholes where they can make the law either work for you or they can make it,
you know,
not work for you.
just not even to go as far as the pregnancy, but the thing is that you can marry a minor, have sex with that minor, but if you don't marry that minor and you have sex with that minor, you're in prison.
Yep, basically.
Okay.
That's welcome to the United States of America. That's how they get down. But like I said, they want to play with these little ages and shit, like they got the consent. Like I said in Illinois, I'm gonna take it back to Illinois. Illinois, we all know the age of consent to have sex is 17. Okay, but when you talk about marriage, see, the age of consent is 18. You got to be 18 to get married. However, with a parent's permission, with parents' consent, a person can marry at 16 in Illinois. So it's like it's just three different outcomes like that. It's three different little ages there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it don't make sense. It don't make sense how they carrying it, man. It's like a lot of these states, man, you can marry at like 15. Some states you can marry at 17. It's like it's all over the place. But like I said, Massachusetts is the one where you can marry at 12, and that to me is like
That's crazy.
I don't understand how they can't get that fixed. But they want to stone R. Kelly though. They just want R. Kelly. Like I said before, they didn't want to honor the Copyright Reversion Act, but it's cool. They got it set up where they trying to put him in prison, or they stalling. I believe they're stalling everybody. But like I said, you can't stop God's plan for one's life. So, no, in the last 15 years, man, more than 207,000 minors have become legally married in the United States to adults. 207,000 minors.
Just think about that. Just think about that number.
Man, it is crazy, man.
See, so they're married. These adults are marrying minors, having sex with minors. Okay, legal.
Yep, and many of them are marrying below the age of consent to sex. So they're under the age of consent where they can give consent to have sex, but they're able to get married, and that is just like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
America is very hypocritical. The hypocrisy in this country is out of this world. And I think before we should stone R. Kelly for something that he most likely didn't even do, it's no guarantee he did it. He's never had no convictions. Before we stone him for allegations and accusations, I think America needs to get their law system across all 52 states in order before we can do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what happened to Roy Moore? Does everybody remember Roy Moore? Remember him, Roy Moore, and
is that the one in North Carolina?
No, the senator in Alabama.
Alabama,
yeah,
sorry, Alabama.
He was accused of targeting teenage girls, and like I said, Alabama, they got them little tricky little laws. That's what I mean, where they can make it work.
He had help from the president.
Yes, indeed. See what I mean?
He had help from the president. So that whole story was horrible.
Terrible, man. In many cases, man, the district attorneys have been willing to waive prosecution if the girl's statutory rapist agrees to marry her. And her parents are also supportive. They will waive prosecution. This is the district attorneys. But they're sitting here not trying to give R. Kelly a bond when he has not been convicted of anything. No evidence has been proven against R. Kelly in the court of law.
And he has no record.
And he has no criminal record. But they don't even want to give this man a bond. But when you see things like this, it just blows you away, man. At least it blows me away. 25 states actually do not have an absolute minimum marriageable age. I think that they changed that, but at one point or another, at least I know in the 90s, during the time of all this, because that's where most of his charges are, during the 90s, 25 states actually did not have an absolute minimum marriageable age. So, take it how you want to take it, man, but I think that it's very hypocritical, like I said, and everybody deserves to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. And they, especially if they don't have a record, they should be given a bond. That's all it is to it. President Trump, I seen something where I don't know if it's real or not. I'm trying to find out if somebody can send me the original tweet. But I saw something where President Trump, well, former President Trump, I should say now, he tweeted something saying free R. Kelly. Now,
Hashtag free R. Kelly.
Hashtag free R. Kelly. So, let me get this straight. R. Kelly, you've been in office now for 4 years, come January. R. Kelly has been in federal custody for almost 2 years. But like I said, all this conspiracy against R. Kelly and all this illegal treatment and public stoning and public lynching of R. Kelly started in 2017, all over again in 2017. Like I said, the year that he was able to put in the notice to the label, magically. But it started then, so now you wait until election time, basically, to tweet free R. Kelly. Now, I don't know if he actually tweeted that, but if somebody can actually confirm that for me, please do. But all I know is, let's say if he did tweet it, President Trump, it's not too late. You still can do it. You can still pardon R. Kelly. You can still get that done. You can still do it. You got till January to do it.
You can still free R. Kelly.
Yeah, you can still free him. So if that's what you really trying to do, that's what you hollering, then free him. I mean, wouldn't that be a wonderful thing to see? But like I said, I'm not even sure if that's was a legit tweet. But if it was, hey, I mean, seemed like what you always say, a day late and a dollar short. What's how the saying go? A day late and a dollar short.
Yeah, but he still can try to do something.
Yeah, he still can do it. But like I said, I mean, I just feel like why wait like right before you was about to, the election to do that? It don't make sense.
The black vote.
Yeah, that's what it was about. Just trying to get the black vote. And then my thing is, though, we know that during the this is why I don't think he would do it. I hope that he would do it, but I know during the inauguration, his inauguration, R. Kelly turned down, performing at his inauguration, but he wasn't the only one. I mean, a lot of artists didn't want to perform at Trump's inauguration, so I wouldn't, he shouldn't take that out on just R. Kelly. But I don't know what's this about with Trump, man. I know a lot of people, been liking Trump or whatever. This is one thing I don't agree with people on, but I personally think that we need our own political party, to be honest with you. I think that's long overdue, but I think necessarily Republicans and Democrats, they kind of work hand in hand a little bit. But everybody, they want people to believe that they actually have a choice. In my opinion, this is my opinion. Now, I'm not trying to discourage anybody from being who they want to be. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a Democrat, if you want to be a Republican, that's on you. I just personally think that nothing never gets done the way it needs to get done, for the most part, to better our people. You know what I'm saying? The urban community. I know Trump, people seem like they have forgot the racial divide that this guy has injected into this country. Or I shouldn't say he injected it. I think he added gasoline on it. He added gasoline on a fire that's already been here for hundreds of years. And a lot of people seem to forget that. I mean, with the Charlottesville thing, he didn't go against that per se.
There was good people on both sides.
Yeah, he said it was good people on both sides, and meanwhile somebody got killed behind that.
Yes, she did, and that was just so sad. And he didn't start it. It was already here.
Right.
He just made it come more to the forefront. The racism people have been trying to hide all their life.
Right.
Now they just feel emboldened to let you know that they are racist.
Yeah, they didn't got real bold under his presidency. Like I said, he didn't remember that time when he said, look at my African American right there. I mean, he just says racist things. It's like all these little racist slurs, offensive slurs, and it's like, how can we forget that as people? You know what I'm saying? We can't forget that. I remember it was another a person of color. They got escorted out of one of his I don't know what you call it. Yeah, one of his rallies, and he said if this was the good old days, they would have what he said, like basically in other words, they would have
lynched.
Yeah, he would have got his lynched or at least extremely beaten. You know what I'm saying? If not killed for doing what he did. And it was like, come on, man, that's like racist. He just told these white folks, his white followers, his white nationalist. How you say the damn word?
Nationalist.
Yeah, and people that are like white supremacists, like, you know what I'm saying? He just told them recently to stand back but stand by. You know what I'm saying? It's like talk like that. It's like, how do people forget that, man? How do you forget it?
Well, even more so, he had 4 years to do whatever he needed to do. Why didn't he do it in the 4 years?
Right.
What I seen was babies being snatched from their mothers.
Yep. Forgot about that. The Hispanics.
I think they said there was 500 kids that still have not found their parents, allegedly.
Wow.
500 kids that still are not with their parents.
Man.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And the people, like the kids that was born here, right?
Yeah, so what, and the dreamers. So what makes us think that he's going to do something for us in the next 4 years? You know, and I get it. I just think that, black people, people of color, years and years and years back, because people of color have gotten better at voting now. But years and years and years ago, they would not vote. And and these are the very laws that affected them. You know, or us, I should say.
Yeah.
So, it is good to see that we're voting more now, and how much our vote, but we should be getting something for our vote.
Right. Right.
And I just think that you know, we're so strong that it doesn't matter who is in office. You know, we know how to survive.
Yeah, we make a way to survive.
You know,
that's
but
for certain.
It shouldn't be like that anymore. We should be learning how to live. You know, we've been surviving over 400 years ago. You know, it's about survival. It's time for people of color to learn how to live and enjoy life.
Right.
You know?
Right. I agree. I definitely agree. His first 100-day pledge had an approval rating of around 40%, much lower than any prior U.S. president. It's just crazy, man. He's trying to take away the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, which is gonna that's not only for the urban community. I mean, that's for even his, the Caucasian community. It's like a lot of people need health care. I personally think healthcare should be free for everybody, to be honest with you. I think they do it over there in Europe and it works for them. It can work over here. But to take away, healthcare, I mean, come on, man. A lot of people need that healthcare. You know what I'm saying?
Healthcare, college education should be free.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. It's like they don't want to do that though, because it doesn't help corporate interests in America. That's the problem. That's why they don't like Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act, because it goes against corporate interests in America. Also, he withdrawn us from he took us out of the U.S. the Paris Agreement. He took the U.S. out of the Paris Agreement.
That was a big deal.
Yeah, that's a major big deal, man.
That was a big deal. That hurt us bad.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like, climate control, man. We definitely should be watching that as people, man. We gotta watch out for the planet. We can't just keep on doing things that scientists are saying. This is being scientifically proven. Well, at least they bring in research that says that this is hurting our planet. The way we're operating is hurting the planet, and in the next 100 years can be catastrophic to this planet if we don't change our ways. So he's done a lot of things, in my opinion, that it seemed like when he got into office, man, his main focus was basically undoing everything that Obama tried to do. And that's another thing. People talk a lot about Obama. I think, in my opinion, I think he could have done more for us as far as the urban community. However, he tried. A lot of things they held his hands. You know what I'm saying?
They filibustered everything he tried to do.
Right. So it's like let's not act like he didn't do anything for the African American community. I mean, his 15th executive order that he signed, Executive Order 13503, was to the establishment of the White House. You know what I'm saying? For Office of Urban Affairs. And establishment of the White House Office of Urban Affairs. That's the name of the executive order. So he had a plan. I'll get into that on another video as far as what I think about that order. However, Executive Order 13506, he established White House Council on Women and Girls. He's trying to help out the women and women equality. That's a big deal, because I do believe in women equality. But like I said, I think the way the MeToo movement is going about it, I don't agree with how they're doing it. Executive Order 13532, promoting excellence, innovation, historically black colleges and universities. He has tried to do things, man. He's tried to do things for us. And then, you got Executive Order 13621, the initiative on education, promoting educational excellence for the African Americans. So I don't know why people say he didn't try to do anything for his people. And I'm sure it's more. Like I said, I'll get into that on another video.
And it's that they would not let him do anything. And he tried to reach across the aisle to make it, try to, make it where the Republicans and Democrats could work together.
Right.
And I think they tricked him.
Yeah.
And and I think that
they tied his hands on a lot of things.
They pretended like they were going to work with him, and they ultimately didn't.
Right.
And then when the shift changed, where he didn't have both, the Senate and the House, it was like, at that time, he couldn't do nothing.
Right. Right.
So.
Yeah. So Trump, man, I think that it's good that he's out of here, man. I mean, like I said, we were on the verge of a fucking race war, everybody, and for real, hopefully we can try to get some type of order with this racial divide. And let's not forget, man, he did so much stuff, man. Like with the George Floyd situation, I don't like how he handled that. You know what I'm saying? Then the Confederate statues, let's not forget how he was going against that process of trying to get them racist Confederate statues taken down. And it seems like he just represents to me he represents white supremacy, man, and to me it's nothing wrong with having pride in your race, but when you are prejudiced and you use your race and your status in your race to oppress other minorities, that's when it becomes a problem. And let's not forget, everybody, when he was inaugurated, women came out, the largest single day protest in U.S. history, the Women's March. You know what I'm saying? It took place, like I said, after Trump's inauguration. And basically, it was driven, it was driven opposition to Trump and his views. Driven by opposition to Trump and his views.
Even if this man, says he's not racist and all that, and he, for political reasons, he had to cater to his base because he wanted to stay in office. So he had to play the quote unquote the racist card so he wouldn't lose his base. But I just don't believe that was totally it. I think that if he was playing, he played it very well. Where I believe him, I believe that he's that guy, that he is a racist.
Yeah, I do too.
And he's most certainly about himself.
And if he's not a racist, he definitely at least looks down on other races.
And the way he gave Obama the business, with the birth certificate,
right,
and all that stuff. I mean, he's done so
much offensive, so many offensive things he's done to other races. It's almost enough to make you sick. But I just want to say some things real quick, everybody. I know this R. Kelly thing has got a lot of people's temperature up. It's got a lot of people emotions involved in it. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't want nobody to get me misconstrued. I believe that R. Kelly is innocent. I believe he's innocent. I don't believe he's this type of person that they're saying he is, like I said before. However, I don't want people to think that I am trying to hurt women's. I'm trying to hurt the woman's progress, or trying to go against the woman's movement, because I'm not. I definitely agree with the women's movement. I think women should have equal opportunity, equal rights. You know what I'm saying? And they definitely shouldn't be treated less than. Lord knows, my whole life I pretty much owe everything to women. The woman I'm right beside right now helped change my life. You know what I'm saying? And I thank her for that, because I was like, I was pretty stupid. But you know, I owe a lot to women. Like my father wasn't really God rest his soul. He had some issues, and so it kind of left my mother, you know, and my sisters and stuff, raising me, bringing me up and stuff like that. And I owe everything to women. Y'all are strong. Y'all have been holding the black community down. Y'all been carrying us. And for real, I don't want nobody to think that I am against a woman's movement, because that will never be the case. It will never be the case. However, I think that women, African American women and African American men, we are best friends. And I feel like they are trying to get us against each other. They are trying to make us forget that we are best friends. We share the same struggle throughout this wilderness called America. We share the same struggle for the most part. And I think a lot of us have forgot that, you know. I think it's a difference when you say, I think R. Kelly is guilty. I think there's a difference between saying that and when you say hate speech, like, oh, I'll be happy when he gets the mental and physical help in prison. I mean, that's hate speech, man. You know what I'm saying? That's hate speech. And that's all I'm against. I'm against the MeToo movement, the way they go about going at African American men. That's what I'm against. I don't agree with how they doing it.
I don't either. I think they should do the same to white males.
Right.
I really do. I think that, you know, R. Kelly should not have to be the poster child for their movement. I really don't. You know?
Yeah,
it's not fair. You know, you're innocent until proven guilty. I don't think that's his character either, you know? But at least let this man have his day in court. Let it be fair. Let it be right and legal. Do it the right way, you know? And everything I've seen so far has not made any sense. It doesn't seem like it's legal, and it's horrible. I really do. I think it's horrible.
Me too. I definitely agree with you. So like I said, I don't want nobody to get me twisted. I owe a lot and just about everything to
he loves women, y'all.
a woman.
He's good. He's good. Trust. He's good. He's a good dude. He loves women.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
he knows
indeed.
our worth. We're the bomb diggity, okay?
Hey, oh man, you need to stop. Hey, you funny. But everybody, God bless everybody. Free R. Kelly. Sony, by the way. Can't forget to say something about Sony real quick. Sony calls themselves giving artists the business. They are not respecting artists' their copyright reversion rights. They're actually trying to sue the artists and the artists' attorneys because they don't want to give artists their music back. They don't want to give them their rights to their music back after the 35-year period. And once again, Sony Records needs to be ambushed hard and put some pressure on them, because the way it seems like it's always them. I mean, we know the major conglomerates in the music business is Sony, Universal, and Warner Brothers. We know that. However, it seems like Sony, all of them is dirty. Don't get me wrong, all three of them is dirty. But Sony, it seems like they always are involved with some dirty shit, allegedly, everybody. I mean, it just, if you really look at the history of the artists that they deal with, and it just doesn't look good. But, you know, I'm going to wrap this up. But once again, I want everybody to know Sony is not honoring the 35-year copyrights reversion rights. They're not honoring it. So, once again, free R. Kelly. Get that man his music back. And drop these charges, because I feel like these charges, there's no way he can be charged for these things and you're not charging the record company. That's just my opinion. I think the record company are the ones that was running whatever. They're the boss. They was the boss. So you can't say R. Kelly is doing no crimes, but the record label's not.
Yeah, can you speak on that letter the parents signed that with that Valerie? I think she was in AR at
Okay.
Sony.
Yeah, okay. Real quick, everybody. Valerie Payton, right? Now, the parents of Azriel Clary, they said they signed her over to the letter they signed or whatever. They gave her to Valerie Payton, and that she was supposed to be an A&R or whatever for Sony. Well, to end this off, how can you charge R. Kelly if they signed her over to Sony, a representative of Sony? Then she should have been in Sony's care. Sony at that point is responsible for her, not R. Kelly. If they signed her over to Sony, then Sony should be held responsible for whatever happens to her, not R. Kelly. So once again, I suggest they get their story right, because what they're saying once again does not make sense. You know what I'm saying? Don't make sense at all, what they saying. But on that note, everybody, if you can like, share, and subscribe, that'll be great. That'll be much appreciated. And if you would like to donate to the channel, that'll definitely be appreciated as well. The information is on the screen. You can Cash App synsayne, SYNSAYNE. And on that note, God bless everybody. Everybody keep looking in front of you, watch what's in back of you, and be safe. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully everybody is like I said before, is enjoying this odyssey called life. Much love to everybody. Free R. Kelly. Peace.
I'm ready to break it all. Since computer love, they wanna set it all like a hotel room. I'm checking into you. I'm digging like a shovel. All the things you do. Take a leap over the broom. That's how you're making me feel. Come on in this room and let's keep it real and go.